Okay, so I picked a clip from Donnie Darko, even though I really wanted to do the ending to Superbad, but I couldn't find a decent clip of it. Okay, so this is the classic scene where Donnie goes to the movies and sees Frank, the bunny rabbit, who has been haunting him for the past days. So the camera started by moving down from the title of the movies, and now it's moving closer to the couple over the seats. The rows of seats act like a line for the viewer's attention to go immediately to the two people sitting in the middle of the dark theater. You can't hear the audio, but there's a deep pounding, and now that the camera switches angles, we get a close-up of Donnie and Gretchen. And this is a good example of spacing and the rules of thirds. Donnie and Gretchen are both fixed on the two lines. This low shot is perfect to set the mood. I think they are also using a special lens, like maybe a fisheye. I don't know a lot about cameras, but it makes the whole shot look very awkward and almost overpowering, which the director wants you to think Donnie is feeling. An imaginary line is made with Donnie's eyes as he looks up, what appears to be directly into the camera. Then the angle switches and we can see that he's actually looking at the bunny rabbit Frank. Because of the lines created by the lights and the rows of seats, Frank stands out much more. The extreme close-ups, lack of lights, and Donnie's idiotic smile make the entire scene kind of unsettling, even without the audio. You can feel the difference when they change from being joking and crazy to Don becoming angry and Frank is forced to take his mask off. There's a lot of imaginary lines used here when Frank looks at Donnie and Donnie looks away at the screen. By making the characters look almost directly at the lens, it helps the director guide their eyes to the next camera angle and shot. I guess this is a good time to look at Gretchen and Donnie's faces, which are both round, and this makes sense because they are the main characters in the movie. Frank, who isn't the villain but is certainly not the good guy, has more of a square face, though it's pretty rare that you actually get to see his face. Throughout this part, the director is getting the viewer used to looking back and forth from character to character. He uses the same one shot to one shot to one shot of Donnie and Frank, and then Frank again, that the viewer thinks there's a pattern and adjusts until suddenly Frank tells Donnie to look at the screen, and the shot is different and thus more powerful. The screen opens up and light leaks out, though now our characters are soaked in light that was not there before, and it's creating a different mood. There's a lot of symbolism in this part, and I have watched it many times, but I never noticed that the angles of the shots and the lack of light have a lot to do with the mood. I never noticed them because I was too distracted by what was going on in each scene, and really these are very important. The director focuses your attention on what he feels is significant in the story. Now the movement is back to circling Donnie and Gretchen, just as it started. And now the movie ends with a pan up to the title as the whole entire scene started.